Okay, testing should be live. What is that? Okay, should be working. Okay, checkers, are you ready to go? Let's get this running first. Okay. All right. Should be good. You ready, checkers? I'm gonna untie. Okay. Oh wait, that's not what I want. Ready? Wind is blowing pretty good. Okay, here we go. Leaving the Kima Boardwalk Marina. Beautiful day, a little windy, but I need practice docking in the wind anyway. I think we're about 10 or 12 knots right now. When I get out on the open water, we'll be able to see it better. So this is Kima, Texas. It's called the Boardwalk Marina, and this area behind us right now is the Kima Boardwalk. Rich guy owns it, same guy that owns all the Saltgrass and Landry's restaurants. I think he owns the Houston Rockets, maybe a casino or two. I can't remember his name. But anyway, the boardwalk has got about 30 restaurants. It's got an amusement park. Now, if I spin our 360 camera the other way, why is that not working? I wonder. Okay, there we go. Now I think you'll be able to see the big roller coaster up in the sky over there. So that's a 360 what's it called? Not an Insta 360, I think. Camera, and I've got it on the pole selfie stick. So this is like I can go up higher than I am right now. But that's good enough for now. Some big ass boats in this marina. So today it's about 82 right now. Kind of warm. I'm good down here in Houston with anything 80 and below. I can even tolerate up to 90 if I can get cooled down every once in a while. But that 100-degree stuff in the summer, oh my God. It's a killer. There's a beautiful boat there. That's got to be about at least a 50-foot monohull. Wow. Maybe 60, I don't know. I should have put the camera on it. Too late. It's already passed. So let's keep the camera like that for a little while. That's like the Kima boardwalk, they call it Fantasy. They take people for rides in that. So I'm going to record this. Let's try that view for a while. Okay, so that's my chart plotter and the 360 cam. So I'm kind of, every time I go out, I'm doing dry runs. I'm testing something. So I've got this streaming setup here, and I've got two cameras, the 360 up above, and then my Sony 3000 XR or something like that on the helm here, giving us the shot from behind. And I've got a YOLO Box Ultra streaming switching device down in my waterproof container down here that I built. I think I'm gonna go to Clear Lake today. We'll see. So now you're gonna see the Gulf, not the Gulf, Galveston Bay out there. Yeah, it looks pretty wavy. So we'll go inland. This is the channel that goes between the Galveston Bay and Clear Lake. This is a MacGregor 26M boat. It's a 2008. I've had it for a little over a year. I've done a lot of work on it because what I'm getting ready to take it on the Great Loop, leaving right around December 1st of this year. Wow, it is pretty windy. Anyway, it's a 26M, 2008 model. I started looking for a boat like this about a year and a half ago, and there was one for sale down here in Houston. I think there's about 5,000 of these MacGregor 26s. There's a couple different models. There's the X and the M and a D, I think. The M is the newer one, the newest model. And so I was looking specifically for an M because they have a little bit more headroom. Plus I wanted one of the newer ones anyway. And so I found one here in Houston, and I didn't even get to look at it. It looked like a piece of crap in the pictures anyway. And then the guy wasn't returning my calls, and anyway, I messaged him a couple times, and he did message back once, but it was really difficult to get him to commit to a time when I could come and look at it. So in the meantime, I was looking for boats and for other ones, and there were some for sale all over the country, and I was looking at them. The prices were kind of high, and that we're looking at about I think the latest model is about a 2012 maybe or 13 of this boat, and those newer ones were the newest ones were priced kind of high. Some of them were like beat to shit. So anyway, at one point I thought I was going to have to bring my son Corey up to Michigan. He was thinking about going back to Michigan, and so I was starting to consider maybe driving him back up and hauling all of his stuff up. And so what I did was go on Craigslist, and I started looking for changing my cities, searching on Craigslist, and looking for this model of boat between here and Michigan. And son of a gun, if I found some, and one of them was in Wisconsin, and the ad said something like brand new, 2008, brand new. So I immediately thought it was a scam. I didn't even check in on it, but it looked like a decent price, and the pictures looked like a brand new boat. But anyway, I let a couple days go by, and then I ended up contacting the guy, and sure enough, I call him. He seems legit. Sounds, but when you talk to somebody, sometimes you can get a good or a bad vibe, and I got a good vibe from the guy. So, turns out he was selling it for some family friends, and those friends, the guy that bought this boat back in 2008 got sick right away, put it in a warehouse or a garage, and then died. So it never went in the water. It literally was a brand new boat, never been in the water. All of the rigging for the sails and the mast and everything were still in bags. So I bought it for a decent price. I mean, it was a comparable price to other boats of the same year that are used. So I jumped on it. It had a 9-horse motor on it, and I didn't want that, so he gave me some money off, and he kept it, and he sold it to a boat company or a marina up there in Wisconsin. So I took the boat without a motor, and I bought a 60-horse Mercury and put on it. It's the Mercury 4-cycle, 4-cylinder, and it's called a Bigfoot. In other words, it's got a larger lower end on it. I think it's a lower end from about a 90-horse Mercury, which gives it more low-end torque, which is exactly what I need. I'm not going to be traveling real fast. I've got a hell of a load in this boat right now, now that I've got it mostly outfitted for the trip. I got a hell of a load in it. In fact, I'm right at max weight. So having that motor is probably going to help with fuel mileage and low speed torque or low speed operation. So let's turn this way now for a while. Now I'll tell a story about what I've done to this boat. So I put the 60 horse Mercury on it, and had the dealer that I bought the motor from down here in Houston, had him install it. And I've had some problems. I actually set out to do this Great Loop trip last February, and it was super late in the year for leaving. I felt like February 15th was my drop dead date, and I didn't get ready to go because of some family things that came up until February 18th, and I made it only 2 days. I made it to Port Arthur, and the voltage regulator on the motor fried a couple of other things. So I ended up having to pull the boat out of the water because I couldn't get the parts. Oh shit. I got a guy right behind me. I don't know what the heck he's doing. Hi. Okay, so I lost my connection, so I'm still good. Oh boy, I got so much shit going on that I've got to get used to it. That's why I'm taking these practice runs. I'm gonna spend a lot of time at the boat. I'm gonna take it out every day, either sailing or motoring, testing my streaming or practicing with my streaming. I'm not very good on camera. I need lots of practice at that. I don't know if there's anybody watching right now. On my headset, I've got voice chat. So hopefully if somebody's on and they chat, I'm going to hear it. But I'm a little concerned about that because I have some automatic things that I've got programmed to come up in my chat, and I'm not hearing them. So what I think I'll do when I get out there, I'm going to set my trolling motor anchor and then go down and double check my stream. I've got a laptop down below. And that's what the chat is running on. So, I've always got to remember to hit the full screen. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So, I've even got a bird's nest of wiring down here that is just got to be all cleaned up and organized so that when I just kicked the wire right out of my phone that has the 360 camera on it. So I lost connection to the stream for that camera. So I'll just keep talking about the boat for a little while. So it's been a pretty big project because this is just an empty hull boat. It had some, it's got seats and beds down below and cushions and everything. And it's got a little tiny galley with a sink. But that's it, and a table. So I've had to pretty much convert this thing to a tiny home, like you would be if you were to build one. If you already had your shell and all you were going to do is outfit everything. So I did that, and then I've got a lot of navigation equipment. I've got 2 Garmin's. I've got AIS that I installed. I've got autopilot that I'm not completely set up with yet. So I put a lot of systems into this boat. I built on the back here, I built like a poop deck, like a swim platform. I put solar arch on here with solar panels up above. I got a solar controller here. I added 115 volt circuits with two breakers, two 15 amp breakers. I expanded it had a little 12 volt circuit panel with 4 fuses in it and 4 switches, and I added a second one, and so I did a fair amount of 12 volt wiring all over this thing also. And it's got so it's a combination motorboat and sailboat. It's got a dagger board that goes down 4.5 feet, and I have that down right now because it just maneuvers so much better with that down. Now, if I'm going to go any faster than about 5 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour right now, what am I doing now? I'm doing 5.9. So this is about it. I've got the dagger board down, and I've got the rudders down in the back that you would use all 3 of those. 2 rudders in the back, and then the dagger board in the center. All 3 of those you are down, of course, when you're sailing. But this boat maneuvers so much better when you have those down if you're going at slow speed. So I haven't been boating much since I was young, and I'm just not used to all of the sounds, and like that jet ski. There's a jet ski that just went flying by, scared the crap out of me. I just not, I shouldn't say scared the crap out of me, it startled me. So today I'm gonna test the trolling motor. That must have been that's a dad and a mom and 2 kids out on the whatever those things are. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on, and then I'm just going to pull over here a little bit. Checkers. I got my dog Checkers, the little Cocker Spaniel. He's got his life jacket on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop for a little while. I'm going to put my trolling motor down. There it goes. You can see it in the camera going up. Then I'll press this for trim, and then we'll trim it down all the way. Okay, and then we're going to hit anchor. Okay, so this should hold me now. This is a pretty strong wind. That's kind of why I wanted to try it today, is see how well this thing anchors me in one location using the trolling motor. So let's zoom in here. Let's see how well that holds us. Now I'm going to switch over to chart plotter. Oh, the chart plotter. Yeah, it's on. There we go. So I can do chart plotter in that camera. Let's see. Should have chart. Okay. Let's just leave it like that for a while. Okay, it looks like the voice is working. I'm going to lower this 360 cam. Just use it in the cockpit here. Then I'll put it back up when I go back. Okay. All right, so now okay, there's me. Where's Checkers? Can you see Checkers in the camera? Checkers, come on up here. Come on, boy. You don't want to come up? I guess you could see him, yeah. Just hard for me to see in the sunlight. I probably got to put a cover over this. Let me pull this out and just give you a little tour. Okay. So there's my streaming setup. You see that good? Yeah. Okay, so I've got my iPad up here, and that is connected through Wi-Fi to my chart plotter. Chart plotter's up here. I've got a GPS Garmin, and then I've got the older, what's it called? Anyway, I can't remember what it's called, but it doesn't have the helm feature that allows me to connect to anything else like my laptop. So the chart plotter straight ahead, I can't connect that to anything, but I do have it on my sonar. So let's see let's go home. Let's go to combo screen. Oops, I touched it. Shouldn't have touched it. Okay. Wrong one. Oh no, that was right one. Jeez, man. Jumping around too much. Fingers are going too fast. Let's go here. Okay, so there's my sonar telling us we're in 5.5 feet of water. It's fish finder. We should see some fish with it also. And I think I've got it on side view right now. I don't know how this sonar, I'm not very familiar with it yet, so it's part of my practicing. And then this one is the one that you can see on the screen. And you can see that the trolling motor anchor, GPS anchor, is keeping us in one location really nice. Okay, there's a sailboat over there, and I know which one that is. That's for the school that's in the Watergate Marina, and that's probably an instructor with 2 students. So I learned on that sailboat. I did my ASA, American Sailing Association, Class 101 on that boat. So anyway, so I've also got my cell phone here, and that's what I'm using to change the view of the 360 cam. And down inside of here's my second radio. I keep 2 of them, one on channel 16 and one on channel 13. In fact, I got to get this one on 13. And then inside of here is the YOLO Live is the company, and it's called the YOLO Box Ultra. And so here's my output, which is the stream that you're watching. And then this is 4 different inputs. On one input, I've got the cell phone. On another input, I've got the iPad. So the cell phone has the 360 cam. The iPad has the Garmin. And the reason I have to use those is because both of those devices, the camera and the chart plotter, have to use Wi-Fi to connect, and you have to use a mobile device in order to view the screen. Now, there's one more step after that. Both of these have to be converted to HDMI. That's these adapters right here, one there and one here. And because the YOLO box takes HDMI inputs. So I've got one more input that I'm not using here, and I can use that for another camera. I want to get another camera yet. In fact, what I'd like to get is a zoom that's mounted here on the helm that I can rotate. In fact, more than that even, I want it to zoom. I want to be able to, I want it remote control so that people watching my stream can actually control that camera. And I would have to use probably Patreon. You need a website in order to do that. You can't just do it with the stream like Twitch. And right now we're streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Kick all at the same time if this thing is working. In fact, I probably should check and make sure. I should always go on Twitch or YouTube and check and make sure that my audio's working and my camera's working before I even leave the dock. I swore to myself that I was going to do that every time, last time I went out, because my sound didn't work, and then I forgot to today. So I'm not sure if we're working or not. So that's kind of the streaming setup, and it doesn't have to be out here in the cockpit. I only have it out here because I have another phone. It's a Android. It's an old Android phone, and I can connect to this YOLO box and control that remotely. So I can be doing the switching of screens from the other phone, which I forgot at home. So that's why I have it out here in the cockpit. And I haven't even decided yet whether I want to keep. I built the box here so that it's watertight. It's got a gasket around it, so I can actually shut this if it starts raining. So I can keep it out here in the cockpit. It just takes up room, and if I hit a big wave or something, or when I'm sailing especially, and the boat's leaning over like that one is over there, you can see it. That thing's going to slide around. So I got to secure it if I keep it out here. Also is my backpack here, and that's the method that I'm using to send my signal out. I have Starlink on this boat. The dish is up above. I'm going to put this back in here. And I'm going to take it off of the chart plotter because I just wanted you guys to be able to see that GPS trolling motor is up there. It's holding us in position. You can see that we're spinning around a little bit, but we're not sliding. So that thing is holding us in a pretty strong wind. So let's go back to two cameras. There we go. Okay. Let's push this back up again. Okay, there we go. That looks good. Now, the other thing I'm trying out is, and maybe I've got to reset up this Sony camera, but if you can see that my face cam is probably pretty dark, at least it usually is. So dark that I've got a little light that I put up here, and I'm hanging from the top of my bimini that's right at my face. I don't think it's doing any good. We'll see. I'm going to check it later. When I'm streaming, when I'm out here in the sun, I can't see my screens well enough to know whether this is looking good or not. So here's what I'm going to do, though. Should I? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another view. I'm going to go to the chart plotter, That one. No? Seems like I've lost a view. Huh. Okay. Okay, I'm going to add another view. I'm going to add chart plotter plus rear cam. Let me slide this a little bit. Okay. And then press done. Go here. And I'll go there. Okay. Now, just practicing. Hope I'm not making you dizzy if anybody's actually watching. Now I'm going to go down and check my chat because something's not right. Test. So I am not even freaking live here. Let's see. I should be live. I'm looking on. Huh. Okay, I'm live on Twitch, but I am not live on YouTube. What's going on here? What the heck? Okay, there we go. Let's see. Why am I not hearing my... All right. Okay. All right. My audio was off. So if somebody would have been in chat, I wouldn't have heard it. But also, for some reason, we're not on YouTube like we should. Okay, I don't know why we're not on YouTube. I'm gonna go back down and see if I can fix that. Okay, now we are. So for some reason I had to refresh the screen. It's kind of weird. How about kick? Okay, we're on kick. Awesome. Okay, so let's go back to this screen. There we go. All right. You doing okay, checkers? Okay. All systems are go. I'm going to get the heck out of the way of this boat right here. Stop the anchor. I'm going to raise the boat motor up. Okay. I've even got challenges with my glasses. What was that noise? Okay, so I'm raising up the trolling motor all the way up, and then I'm going to stow. Okay, that worked good. All right, now, what screen do we have on? Chart plotter plus that. Let's go to 2 cameras. Okay. We're out of the way of that sailboat. I got checkers tucked in behind me here. .2 feet of water. What time's it getting to be? 1 o'clock already. God. I'm telling you, either time is speeding up or it just flies by faster as you get older. I don't know what the heck is going on. So what they're practicing over there right now, I think, is stalling the boat. They got both sails going opposite directions. So that's why that boat, if you can see it, that's why that boat is sitting there right now not moving. And I think it's called in irons. I learned how to do it, and I read about it, but my memory of the name of it is a little bit fuzzy. Yeah. Okay. So off to our right here, over that way, is 2 different marinas. It's Waterford and Watergate. And I had my boat in Waterford for the first year that I had it. I did most of this work on this boat, all the modifications to it while it was parked in that marina. And I've got most everything done. I still need to, this behind me here is the, I call it a poop deck. It's like a swim platform. And there's a couple things I don't like about it. It's my own design. And almost everything I design, I got to do at least twice. So, for one thing, at certain angles, it does hit the motor, or the motor hits it. And I don't get the full steering angle. And it's only by about 2 inches. The motor's about 2 inches away from being turned all the way. So I'm going to modify it a little bit so that I can get that full angle. But that swim platform, I'm going to use that like when I can beach this boat. When I pull that dagger board up and I pull the rudders up and I pull the engine up, I can bring this boat's only got about a 18-inch draft. It says 12-inch draft, I think, in the book, but I'm pretty heavily loaded, so I'm just calling it 18 inches. It could be 12, it could be 14, it could be 16, but anyway, when I go to beach it, I'll be able to beach it. And I can beach it front nose in, bow in, or I can swing the boat around, and a lot of people will beach their boat or tie their boat up when they're close to the shore with the aft end in. And if I do that, I can literally probably drop that swim platform down so that it's almost like a walking, I can walk right off the boat onto the shore. It's a little bit flimsy, but I had to have it as light as I could get it, so I really focus on lightness rather than strength. It's supported from above. I've got two almost like booms from a crane sticking out, and that device, there's two of them back here sticking out horizontal. Let's see if I can see them. Yeah, right there. So you can see those two bars sticking horizontal out. Those are aluminum tubes, and each one of them's got a winch on it. And the winch is a braking winch, so that so those things operate like a crane. I can start lifting something heavy, and I can crank it up, and when I stop the hand, it's not like a boat winch, like the boat trailer winch, where you can grab the rope and pull it out. This one locks as soon as you stop moving the handle. So it works like a crane. And funny story, when I bought the boat, I took an inventory of everything because everything was stowed away in the boat, and I looked at it before I drove off. But when I got home, I started laying everything out and doing an inventory. And and that device is used for raising and lowering the mast. That's one of the reasons I wanted this boat, because when I'm on the Great Loop, I got to go. There's three different areas. There's three different places where I've got to go under bridges that are too tall, and I got to lower this mast. And it only takes me about 15 minutes to lower it, maybe a half hour. I'll just say a half hour. So when I'm doing the inventory, I couldn't find the mast lowering device. And so I went back to the paperwork, and sure enough, it was purchased with the boat as an option, but I didn't find it. So I have to have it. In fact, the mast was down when I got it, because when you put it on the trailer, you have to have the mast down. So I ordered one. It's $300. I ordered one thinking that the boat sat around for 14 years in a warehouse. So I thought, well, maybe it's kind of a long pipe. It's about 6 feet long. It's kind of awkward to put down inside the boat. And I had just assumed maybe it was, I even contacted the guy and said, I didn't find that. Do you think it's possible it's still in the warehouse where you guys took the boat out? And he had them check, and it wasn't there. So, okay, I ordered one. So I get it, and I'm using it. I raise and lower the mast like it's designed for. It's pretty slick the way it works. And then I went to install my refrigerator, and I took the cushions off of. I took one cushion off, and underneath that cushion is like two cubby holes. And when I was going to store something in there, so I took the cover off the cubby hole on one end. It's kind of not a long storage area. It doesn't even look like it's 6 feet long. It doesn't even look like it's long enough. Well, it isn't long enough to put that 6-foot pipe in there. But because that cubby gives you access underneath the sink and the little dinette, or not dinette, but the little sink console thing. Because it can go under there, you can put something in there. And I looked down, and tucked in, where it's a little bit hard to see, is the frickin' mast lowering device. So now I got 2 of them. And so I thought, oh, okay, maybe I'll try to sell it. So I was going to put it in a used boat sales place down here. And then as I'm trying to figure out how to put my dinghy on, tow a dinghy behind this thing, and I was thinking about building a dinghy davit, all of a sudden I thought, oh shit, I got the perfect thing. I got 2 of these 6-foot aluminum pipes. Each one of them's got a boat, or like a crane winch on it. I can put those up there and use those as a dinghy davit. So they're up there, and I only got 2 bolts to take one of them off. And when I want to raise and lower the mast, I just take out 2 bolts. I take the 6-foot pipe with its winch down. I go up, connect it like you're supposed to, and I can raise and lower the mast. So the other thing is, didn't really want to store that down inside the boat anyway, because I'm not going to store it underneath that same cubby hole, because I got my refrigerator on top of that now, and I don't want it laying around near the bed or anything. So it kind of killed about 3 birds with 1 stone. One, those things are my dinghy lift. They also are what I raise and lower the swim platform with, and then it's also a place to store them. So I don't have to store one of them down inside the boat. Like, obviously, if I wasn't using both of them for the davit system, I wouldn't have both of them in the boat. I'd just leave one home when I go on my trip. But now I've got a place to store it. So it's like a nice little synergy. I'm killing 3 birds with 1 stone. So we're in the channel now between Clear Lake and Galveston Bay. That's a fuel stop on the left behind me here, and over on the right there's another fuel stop. I found out the one on the left is in one county and has ethanol in their gas, which is where I filled up, and I didn't find out until after. But the one on the other side of the channel is in a different county, and they can have gas without ethanol in it. So next time I fuel up, I'm going over there. So this is Highway 146. I think 149, one of the two, 146 I think, that we're going under here. They just built this new bypass for Kemah. I got some guys fishing here, and I'm kind of crowding their side of the water, so I'll slow down, and I guess he's out of the way. I don't want to run over his fishing line, right? Okay, so what I'm going to try today when I come in is I tied a line that goes to the back here, and then it goes up to the front, so it kind of droops down like this. And what I'm going to try when I'm docking is I take that line and I'm going to throw it over a cleat on the dock if I can and that's what I'm going to try to do. And what it'll do is as it tightens up, it's going to hold the rear end to the dock, but it's also going to pull the front over. And I have trouble docking here now. The wind is coming from behind us, so the wind is going to be on my port side, kind of coming when I'm docking. It's going to be coming from like port aft. It's coming out of the southwest. So that wind is going to push me up against the dock anyway. Where I really have trouble is when the wind is coming out of the east or northeast. As I'm pulling up to the dock, it takes my bow, and I really struggle. The bow goes flying. I've got to the left, to the port side. It's kind of strange. All the birds, there's a lot of birds here today, and they're all standing on poles, and I don't remember ever seeing that before. I don't know. I guess that's probably not weird. I were a bird looking for a fish, that's a perfect place to park my butt. But anyway. So everything I'm doing, I'm practicing. I'm not very good at anything yet. I'm not the greatest with the boat, with the streaming, being on camera. So this is about me practicing for the most part. Now, I don't think there's anybody watching because, or at least they're not chatting, or my chat's not in my ear again. But anyway, I don't mind not having people watching me yet till I get, you know what I mean, till I get better at this. But the funny thing is, and it could be my fault because I've streamed quite a bit, but it's always a test. And there's been many streams that I've got followers on Twitch, and I've got some subs on YouTube, and I don't send out notifications. So what I'm getting at is I don't typically have anybody watching me, like zero. Every once in a while I get one or two people. And like I said, I'm kind of okay with that right now because I'm not very good and I want to get better. I'm not trying to break a world's record here for subs and viewers. But it is also kind of weird that I don't get any or very few. So that could be because there's the same trolling motor I got. No, it's a little different. So it could be that people have checked in and not liked what they've seen. That's very possible. So if they see me online, they don't bother coming. And I'm also not promoting anything yet, so I'm just talking, just practicing talking. Got both cameras on still. That 360 cam battery doesn't last too long. Only maybe a couple of hours. So that link that's on the location there, you should be able to click it and you should be able to follow my path. Now it's called Nebo Link, and it's not like real time, it's got some delay in it. So the one guy that was watching my stream here a couple weeks ago said that he could see where I am, but it kind of jerks. Like you go 100 feet and then it updates. So maybe it's a timing thing. So there's that great big $50-60 foot monohull. And then this here is a relatively new large trawler. I don't even know if you call that a trawler. I guess that's a yacht. Man, I freak out just docking this 26-foot boat in these slips. Can you imagine how good you got to get to be docking those big catamarans like that in there? Now, they got bow thrusters, which is part of the reason I put a trolling motor on the front of this. I'm not going to use it here because my dinghy's right up in front of the boat. I will hit the dinghy with the prop if I tried using my trolling motor as a bow thruster. Anyway, I know you can get good at anything with practice, and I think those boats probably even maneuver better than this one. This one is like a It's like a beach ball in the wind. It's relatively high. It doesn't have a whole lot of weight. Of course, I've got it loaded down, but it's not heavy like a sailboat, like a regular sailboat. And it doesn't have a keel. It just has the dagger board. So, anyway, it's a bit of a challenge for docking, and I on several forums related to this boat, and it's funny because it happens pretty often because there's 5,000 of these boats around, and they're not making them anymore. The company isn't making it. Went out of business actually in like 2013 or 14. But they get bought and sold, right, as used boats, and it's fairly common, maybe once a month or once every couple of months, where somebody jumps on one of these forums and they're trying to dock this boat for the first time, and they're just freaking out. You can just tell by the text that they're typing that they kind of are worried, or they even say it, worried that they frickin' bought the wrong boat because it's so hard to dock. But the things that make it easier to dock are the dagger board down, the rudders down, and also having the ballast in it. It's got a ballast system, so I got 1,500 pounds of water in the bottom of this boat that I can drain out or fill up just by opening a valve here. So that when you have all three of those set up for sailing, rudders down, dagger board down, and the ballast in, that really helps for docking. And I just go slow, and sometimes I got to try it 2 or 3 times. These are kind of weird slips. They've got these poles in the center. There's 2 boats in each slip. My last marina, you just had docks on both sides, and it was 1 boat per slip. But this one has 2 boats per slip, and these poles in the center that you could tie the back end of a boat off in. Watch out, checkers. I'm going to take this headset off. I can't see the dock. Watch out, checkers. Ooh, that was a good one. That was a successful docking. That one. That one we could just about make a. We could use that on a stream. Oh, I hate that. Okay, that went good. Okay, good job, checkers. All right. Turn that off. Bring this down. Okay. Wow. All right. Woo. Hi, buddy. Here. Let's lift you. Here, you can take this off now. There we go. Okay, come here. Come on. Come on. There we go. How's that? Yeah. Oh, a kiss. Lots of kisses. Atta boy. So you did good that time. You didn't chase any birds. You didn't come anywhere near falling off. Yeah. Okay, let's stop the recording. Honestly, I don't even know if the recording actually started or before. Yep, so we'll stop the recording. Oh. Okay, so take this off, and then let's go here. No, not there. Let's go down and shut the stream off on the laptop. Excuse me.